So again, the characteristics of salts that we're looking at are efflorescence, deliquescence, and what hygroscopy. So we've looked at efflorescence, and I said in efflorescence, the salt will lose its water of crystallization when exposed to air. In deliquescence, the salt will absorb water, it will absorb water from the surrounding air or from the atmosphere when it is exposed to air. Then hygroscopy and dissolve in it and dissolve in it and dissolve in it. All right. So again, in deliquescence, the salt will absorb water from the surrounding environment and dissolve in it. While in hygroscopy, the salt will absorb water. It will absorb water from the surrounding environment when it is exposed to air, but does not dissolve, does not dissolve in it, but does not dissolve in it. All right. So let's look at hygroscopy proper. Hygroscopy is the absorption of water by salt from the atmosphere when exposed to air, but does not dissolve in it. Hygroscopy is the absorption of water by a salt from the atmosphere, but does not dissolve in it. Hygroscopy is the absorption of water by a salt from the atmosphere when exposed to air, but does not dissolve in it. All right. So you should know the difference between deliquescence and hygroscopy. In deliquescence, the salt will absorb water from the environment and dissolve in it to form a solution. In hygroscopy, the salt will absorb water from the environment or from the atmosphere when exposed to air, but does not dissolve in it. It will not dissolve in it. All right. So it will only attract it and form something like a sticky compound. All right. The salt will now become very moist, kind of, and sticky, but it will not dissolve in it. All right. So examples of hygroscopic substance or hygroscopic salt, we have calcium oxide. Calcium oxide is an example of a hygroscopic substance. All right. Then we have sodium triazonitrate 5. This is an example of a hygroscopic salt. All right. So other examples of hygroscopic substances, we have concentrated tetraosulfate acid, concentrated tetraosulfate acid, H2SO4. And we also have calcium. Okay, we have mentioned calcium oxide. Then we also have copper 2 oxide. All right, copper 2 oxide. This is also an example of a hygroscopic substance. All right. So these are examples of what hygroscopic substances. When these substances are exposed to air, they absorb water from the surrounding environment. All right. And they do not dissolve in it. They just absorb the water. They don't dissolve in the water. All right. Okay. So next, we're going to look at a summary of these three characteristics of salts that we've just discussed.